nobody looked at it. That was your biggest loss there. And listen to me as well, because this applies to you as well. Hello.
No, it's not in my book, you know. Okay, I can't do it. They don't let me. If I believe in something, I go for it.
Oh, it's not what I'm using. Yes.
Oh.
Alright. Okay, Kara. You saw the mess.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of ELT with Sari.
Onların gözükmemesi
Ya onu düşündüm. What are we gonna do?
Today, I finally have Hi. Madame, how are you?
I'm fine. I'm fine.
Finally, we're speaking somewhere apart from the car.
Yeah.
Hello. Yeah, it was really hard convincing her to come over here, but I finally did it. How has it been today?
I mean,
Was it a tough day?
it's been hectic, you know, as always. But I'm getting over it.
And you were working for the teeny girl today, right?
Teeny girl. I mean, there's fourth grade graduation ceremonies, TOEFL exam results.
She's going to be telling us about a very nice club that I was literally speaking surprised by when I observed. I was just the observer. I observed everything from the beginning of the year till now. I didn't really give her the help she needed. She did actually my help.
You backed me up better, so that was more than help.
But it helps me understand a lot and be able to host this video right now and help you all out there, the ones that probably are wondering what DI is, Destination Imagination Club. So we will be giving you a lot of information about the club and telling you mostly about,
Hopefully.
about our experience, mostly her experience, because she's been doing it for
2 years now, actively, let's say. I'll talk about it more, but I was in the background for a couple of years, but actively 2 years now.
2, 3, hey!
When you first enroll, there are 2 challenges. There is this team challenge where they give you a rubric, and there are some criteria that you need to prepare 8-minute performance according to that. Depending on the challenge, it can be a technical challenge, it can be scientific, or even in fine arts. They are, let's say, cross-curricular kind of approach. So even if we have fine arts, we have some technical elements in our rubric. This year, for example, we had to turn the prop upside down. And we had to do it in a technical way, pushing with your finger was not something that would, get you points. So we had to use the chain of a bicycle, that system. The kids work on that. So many different things. Even in technical challenge or scientific challenge, there's an artistic part to it. They have to, show some visuals or artistry in their work. So that's that. They, let's say, write a skit and then work on their skit, work on the play. Then they prepare their props and everything according to the rubric. And we work for it throughout the semester, let's say. And then another challenge is that we call it instant challenges. Unknown for the kids. I mean, we have some examples. They are actually STEAM challenges. They include, again, engineering, mathematics, art, everything included. But those challenges also, they divide into 2, actually 3. There are task-based challenges, performance-based challenges, and sometimes both, combination challenges. So they can give you some pipe cleaners, some coffee stirrers, and then they might ask you to build a bridge or something that can stand free without, you attaching it to somewhere.
But a time limit.
Exactly, of course. So in that, let's say 4 minutes, they have to, first of all, brainstorm to get the most points, how they can do it, get the outline of it. And then, but while doing that, they should not fight. Let's say they have to cooperate because the appraisers, the jury, let's say, they are watching and observing how well they work within the group, because that also bring them to
Points.
Yeah, points as well.
This. You can keep fighting if you want.
we are so good.
There was a problem. Where? There? Let me see the problem.
Yep.
That's the problem, right?
Why are you?
Time limit, teamwork, cooperation, creativity. Actually, yeah, creativity under pressure. That's something else. I mean, you can be creative. Let's say you have a month to create something, but like they have 4 minutes to create that thing. Even it's something that's not task based. Even in performances, like they have to think about it. You know, it has to have a beginning, middle, and ending of a story. Like it is really creative, and it boosts their creativity.
You've been doing this for a long while.
Yeah, it's just I've been to the global finals for 5 times. You know, we got the 3rd place in America, 8th place once, 5th place once. So you know, it's just I've been doing it for years. You know, I can't know. It's maybe 10 years, 20 years. I don't know. You know.
Okay, let me just ask this.
Most shows my ages, all this stuff.
Come on.
Well, first of all, it's not a club. Like it doesn't have to be a club because it originated in the US, let's say, and people there were first volunteers. It didn't start at schools. But here we apply it as a club in our, you know, co-curriculum, extracurricular activities, whatever you call it, in our club hours.
So how is it done in the other,
Well,
like in the UK?
here as well, you can do it like you can just get your training as a team manager. And let's say in your neighborhood, you have 5 kids, 7 kids that want to be involved in the process. So they can just enroll. There is a fee. You have to pay it. You have to get your team number. And then so whatever we do here, they do it at home. So it doesn't have to be in a school environment, actually. And most of the time, the teams that attend from the US, they're not school kids. I mean, they are school kids, but it's not. It doesn't happen within the school environment.
How do you usually manage your extracurricular activities in Leaf College?
I mean, to be honest, I try to pick the ones which the students will benefit the most, and DI is one of them. Clinical is the other one, for example. So I focus on them, and step by step I go. You know, just my everything is just planned. So we first start with DI preparation, and then the dramas, and then the clinical, and then we continue like this. But DI is something amazing. When you start, you know, it's a kind of, you know, addiction, to be honest.
It doesn't have to be in English, but as a department, we love this club and we want to do it, implement it every year. That's why we do it in English. But like the categories, there are 7 categories, and we every year attend the competitions from the fine arts category. But there is this technical, engineering, scientific, what else? Social service. Usually there are like 2 or 3 teams, whereas we have like 35, 37 teams in fine arts, for example. And early years, as far as I'm not mistaken. And most of the schools in Turkey, they attend in Turkish.
I want to know how you motivate the kids for these clubs, because you know at the beginning of the year, like nobody knows what's happening. Like, am I in this club, in that club? Do they volunteer for clubs, or you pick them for clubs? How does this work?
They volunteer, but you need to have the marketing. The more success you have, more students want to join. You know, it's reputation kind of thing, you know. It's just right now English clubs are very popular in Czechmeka. In Madi, we're still trying to, you know, set things up there because kids don't know the culture of English in our school at the moment. Parents don't know about it. But right now, they come and watch Czechmeka students as well. So they start to come to that level. We'll see what's going to happen in Madi next year. But in Czechmeka, English clubs are popular because we started 5 years ago, and every year we take them to different cities for reunion, and dramas are getting better and better every year. Destination Imagination is just a different story about itself. So, kids are motivated already.
Our school is a new school as well. It's like 50 of our school here. And at the beginning, we didn't have many volunteers because we choose the kids if they wanted or not. Like you can't force them, right? And last year after the pandemic, the team got the first place. So after that, this year, for example, we had like 57, almost 60 applications. So there is a growing demand, How do you motivate the kids to come and like be in the club? Like especially the new ones. Yeah, well, first of all, at the beginning of the year when we introduced the clubs to the whole school, we have this presentation, where you talk about what you're doing in the club, what are the outcomes, how are they going to benefit from the club. But that doesn't appeal to them. What appeals to them is the part that they go to the US. Up until they hear the, word the US, they're like this, and then they're like, yes, I want this club.
I take it seriously. I mean, it's not, and kids should learn the most of it. It's just they need to understand the philosophy of destination imagination, how it's going to help them in their social lives. They're aware of it, teachers are aware of it, teamwork.
How do you exactly make kids learn how to teamwork? Because this is also like a real life situation for them to learn how to work together and not kill each other.
Yeah, when you set the team, you just talk. You give a speech to the students, of course, and then we want them to talk about themselves. We want them to realize their strengths and weaknesses. They get to know each other. They need to trust each other. If there's a student good at dramatizing, for example, when there's a challenge given, that student becomes the center of the challenge. If it is about drawing or acting or English, they all know each other very well. Then they work as a team. We give them responsibilities, Destination imagination, actually the main idea of destination imagination is, it is totally student-centered. Actually teachers are trying to guide the kids. Students, should run everything, but in reality it's not like this, of course, because as a teacher you need to guide them, but you need to also help them discover their abilities as well.
But how do we choose the kids? Your question was, I guess. We try, first of all, because we do it in English, we want the kids to have, let's say, not the best, but fluent at least, just to be able to express themselves at least. And other than that, we try to analyze their problem-solving skills, their teamwork, how well they are going to cooperate, how well they are going to manage, under stress, because I will get to that later on, but they have to work in a limited time, and it's a stressful, environment for them. Also, engineering skills, also important. I'm their English teacher, but still I have to measure those criteria, because this is where they will be evaluated. So
exactly.
We do our best, but sometimes our judgment, let's say, is not that great, and we might have some difficulties, let's say. But still, even we have 7 students in a team, even those kids, let's say, that, I don't want to use the term fall behind, but even if they don't catch up with the others in the team, they improve a lot.
She's very strict. Let me be honest. The reason she's saying that it's not as student-centered as I want is that she wants everything perfect. It's not that. I have already talked about it when I was talking to Gökçe. I said that those kids in my lessons, I mean,
Amazing.
I just observed them in DI like club and the time that they were practicing. But in my lesson, during the lesson, the way they perform, they really stand out. You know?
No, destination imagination is based on teamwork, yes, but they also help them gain problem-solving skills as well. Because they're given a challenge, and in 5 minutes they need to fix the challenge. So they need to think very quickly. They need to find solutions very quickly, and this helps them in their real life. Of course, it's just
Perfect.
this the natural result of destination imagination. Not only destination imagination actually, sign off, because all the other English clubs, drama is the same. I mean, JMUN is the same. All the English clubs help kids gain confidence, improve themselves, their personal skills. They improve. It's just they all help.
You can see that these students that are in DI, they stand out in the classroom. And the kids that you have in your classroom right now, actually, it's their second year in DI. So
They're like
visible. Yes, yes. Like they know what to do. They know how to handle pressure. They know how to approach something because when you give in a classroom environment, when you ask them to work on a project, most of the time, even though you give the correct instructions, they are lost.
Yes.
They don't start with brainstorming. They don't know how to outline. They don't know those basics. But these kids in DI, they are so used to it. It is just, piece of cake for them. So they just directly get into it, work on it, and voila, you have the product.
The question that pops up here, at least for me, is like, how do you do it? Because talking about it is easy. Like, okay, they become good at it, but it must be really challenging, especially for a teacher handling it. Because I remember that at some point you even told me, Sarvi, there's no time. We have a lot of things to do. And you were staying after school, after hours, sometimes Saturdays you were working. So
we actually came to school during holidays to work on our props and everything. Well, the problem is we do it once a week in our club hour, and it's 70 minutes in total, which is not enough. That's why we have to stay after school, because the kids prepare everything themselves, from scratch. And the idea of DI actually is to, let's say, reuse, recycle, do not turn our earth into another giant, bowl of trash. So we have to make use of the materials that we already have. My mom calls me like a, garbage man sometimes, because I collect everything. Because once you are in it, you see everything as a possible material for DI props. The other day they brought some chocolate and there was this ribbon on it, and our head of department actually, she threw it in the bin. I took it and I was like, no, we can use it. Even the box itself, which we did actually. We used the chocolate box as a cupboard in one of our props this year.
have you ever had any difficulties when you were managing the whole thing?
We always have difficulties with the parents, not you. Because, parents sometimes are problematic, because they compare kids to each other. And they need to understand that we're trying to utilize all the students. We're trying to find the perfect match for each student. But, everybody wants their own kids to lead.
Exactly.
To become the stars of the show. But, in each film, there are leading stars and side characters. They need to get used to this idea. And they should trust us, because that's the main problem. Kids go home, they cry to their parents, then the parents come. That's the biggest challenge is the parent.
So how do I do it? Yes, the time is not enough. And the team challenge is the biggest part of it, actually. This is where you get the most points. It is out of 300, as far as I'm not mistaken. And 100 comes from the instant challenge. So it's important. That's why we have to give the most importance to it.
Team challenge.
To, to prepare the prop, to prepare our skit accordingly. But when you do that, you don't have enough time to practice instant challenges. And well, I'm not gonna lie, we were not prepared that much. We practiced instant challenges at the airport. We practiced instant challenges in our hotel rooms. Like
So it was
last
not in
minute.
school. It was
I mean, we did in club hours, like because until they create their play, the skit, let's say, we have, let's say, 1 or 2 months, and at that time we practiced instant challenges. We introduced at least the idea, but like we didn't have the luxury to okay, let's practice instant challenges in this lesson, and next lesson you can work on your props. It's not possible because it takes a lot of time.
But at the same time, you had like something like a mock event that I remember you went to. Can you tell us a little about that?
Sure. Like some schools, they host instant challenge events actually, and ICC we call that. And our school is one of the hosts in Istanbul. It is where the teams, well, as I said, you buy a team number at the beginning of the year, and you know your team name, your number, everything is ready actually since day one, which I mean like October, not
Not exactly
yeah.
day one.
October, sometimes November, depending on the school and how prepared, how ready they are. And those teams that are actually going to compete in the national tournaments usually in February, or this year it was March. They come together just for the instant challenges. So it's like, as you said, mock, and they just experience how it's going to be in reality. And they have 2 challenges in the morning and 2 challenges in the afternoon. And they are evaluated with, you know, the real appraisers, let's say, with the rubrics and everything.
I remember you were kind of mad with one of the teams. Like,
oh, yeah. Well, yeah, we hosted one, but also we attended one of the ICCs in Istanbul. Yes, I was mad. Because, like, as a team manager, I can go and watch their performance if the kids allow you, by the way. I didn't know this last year, for example. And in the national tournament, when the appraiser asked if they wanted me inside, they said no.
oh my God.
Yes, they said that we would do it, you know, to stress. We don't want the teacher inside. And I was like, no, I have to be there. How can you do that to me? And I felt really betrayed, seriously. But I didn't know that. It was my first year. It was important because I can, let's say, see how well they did. And because I know,
right?
yes, so that I can give them feedback and to see where we are going to be, you know, in the finals, because we're good. So it's instant challenge is the one that determines if you're going to be in the first 3 or not, because you have the time to watch the other team challenges, and you can, you know, kind of understand which ones are going to stand out, which ones are a bit. But I was mad, yes, because they are all 5th grade students, and they are not experienced, and we didn't practice that much. But the problem is the keywords. Like, since the beginning, we had been repeating the keywords: teamwork, collaboration, creative thinking, you know, just listen to each other. Don't shout. Ask for the time to the appraisers. They have to know how much time they have left. But like some of them were just standing like that.
Yeah.
Just, you know, one of them struggling there to complete the task, and the others are just looking around. So I got pissed, of course, because I wasn't angry because they couldn't do it. I was angry because they did not try their best. But after that day, they got really better. They started to listen to each other, checking the rubric, you know, what they are supposed to do. So yeah.
So you think it's a good idea that if another team from another school wants to really attend the real event, go for these?
Definitely, because otherwise they would feel lost.
One more thing, Hojam. Do you have any memories you want to share with us from this DI? I'm sorry, you've got lots of memories from yours.
You know, this first year I started doing DI, I was working for another school, of course, you know. It was more difficult. First you had to compete with the teams in Istanbul, Marmara region, then Istanbul, then Turkey. It was like this. So 3 steps.
It's like a league.
Yeah, 3 steps eliminations and stuff. So we were doing the scientific challenge actually. And it was about, creating a device which could carry kind of weight, blah, blah. It was like this.
Something like this, huh?
Yeah. In Turkey, whatever we created, it's just, let me tell, it's too hot. Yeah, and all this. Whatever we created was, able to carry almost 80 kilos. And I said before we went to America for the global finance, and I said, look, team, if we can make it carry 100 kilos, then we're going to be the winners in America. And then we went to America. The first thing we watched, the device could carry 300 kilos. And I said, okay, you're in America, enjoy. Because it was obvious that we wouldn't be able to do anything. So it was the first time, the first disappointment in America. We couldn't, make any success. We just enjoyed the process in America. But the second year, we took the third place.
Are you going to rage?
What?
Are you going to rage?
I'm not going to. No, I'm not angry. I was just sad, that moment, actually. We came to school during the semester holiday while everybody was having their holidays. We were together with the kids at school, and they were just painting everything. Our play was about Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde this year. It was based on that story. And they were preparing, London scenery, telephone booths and everything. But we had another one that kind of resembles a mirror, let's say. They painted the telephone booth, but then they put it on the other white one, the fabric. But it wasn't fully dry. And when I took it down, I saw that it all just painted the white part.
Oh my God.
And I was already overwhelmed, because of the stress. We only had 1 month left. We had to prepare everything. And then I sat down and started crying. I burst into tears. And the kids were, bringing me paper towels. Teacher, are you okay? And I'm like, I'm not okay. Why did you do this? We don't have time for that.
Oh my God.
But we just left it like that. Because we didn't have any more fabric to cover that. It wasn't very important. But when I say it's a stressful environment,
that's what
can assure it is, yes. Even for the team manager, even for the teachers. Even though I'm not involved in it, I'm not a part of it directly. I'm just a facilitator for them, just to guide them. It was too hard for me.
I have so many things to tell, it's just with the students and stuff. I remember again, I was in America and the team made me angry. I got angry very easily. The team made me angry and I like Pola Zero, we were just sitting in the corner of the competition place area. And I was, getting angry with the kids, giving them a speech, and I got angry way. One of the students said, Mrs. Selam, would you like to drink Cola Zero right now? And it's just, then I stopped everything and I started to laugh. I said, okay, I'm not spectating, I'm gonna drink now and drink my Cola Zero and everything will be okay.
The moment when we felt proud, I would say, again, with the props this year, because we were just discussing how to turn it, they came up with the idea of that bicycle chain system. They installed it, it worked perfectly, but apart from that, we had a 3D.
Exactly, it had to be opened up
yes.
in London, I guess.
Yes, when we first turned the prop, it would be just blank wooden background, but then when they open it, it would be the London Bridge Tower.
Wow.
Tower Bridge, not Bridge.
And it's just Fascinating.
And like that was the moment I was so proud of my students actually, because
Wow.
it was flawless. I wasn't expecting that much, and it just actually I wow, like okay. So that was a proud moment.
And believe me, it's not easy. Like satisfying this teacher sitting here right now, it's not easy. So those kids really worked well and they really tried hard. But yeah, she's right, because it was totally flawless. Like
Yeah.
when I saw it, and even there were other teachers, like I remember from other departments, they came and they were looking and they were like,
Yeah.
who did that? Yeah, who did that? And they couldn't believe that it actually came from the kids.
Yes.
From staying after hours all the time at school. Like, I think this particular club needs you to really love your job. Like,
Yeah.
I don't think that it's like for all teachers.
No,
Am I right?
not at all.
Like,
No.
what do you think? Like, this is actually a good question. This is one reason that I really wanted to record this video. Like, what kind of a teacher do you think is capable of handling DI based on your own observation and your own experience with the DI?
I mean, DI needs dedication. And teachers who are doing DI should be a bit paranoid. I mean, this is how I pick the teachers. You know, I just observe the teachers and I said, she's paranoid enough to be involved in DI, and Gökçe is one of them. And patience is important. Talent is important. Teamwork is important. For example, I can write scripts. I can, use my imagination. But when it comes to arts and crafts, I'm not good at it. But Gökçe is amazing.
Exactly.
So, you just work as a team, and you need to pick the best team member to gain success. Because I'm not doing DI for fun. At the end of the day, I'm ambitious.
You go to win it.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, patience, I would say, because you have to be patient with the kids. They don't get it right away, right? It takes time. And even for the instant challenges, for the team challenge, it's a process. And what we say that like the product, of course, it's important, but the process is more important. Your progress is more important. So someone who's going to be involved in this should be really patient, because like it pays off at the end. Apart from that, just a little bit creativity, I would say.
Exactly.
Or even if you are not creative yourself, like just that, having that mindset, not having borders or limits, it's important, because this club actually teaches you to think outside of the box. So you have to look things from a different perspective. That's why it's really important not to have those limiting thoughts and, borders.
When we were talking to Gökçe, we also talked about this, that the process matters. Like, yes, we want them to win, definitely. I know what you want them to win. At the end of the day, if they don't win,
No.
what?
To be honest, till the day of the competition, I'm ambitious. But once you're on stage and you see other teams performing, and if they're better, you need to appreciate, because there will be better teams, and you're going to learn from those teams as well. So, you need to see your faults, and then you need to enjoy the process of it. Of course, I'm ambitious. I want to win. But if I don't win, this is what I'm telling to the kids. It's not the end of the world. This year, it didn't happen. Next year, we're going to fix the problem and we'll win again. So we should carry on like this. But of course, in the beginning, we have high standards. We set the goal high.
Yes.
We want to be the champions. But if we can't be the champions, enjoy.
Yes, exactly. Learn from your mistakes. Look at the process, because the process matters. Like this year, I think I was lucky that I got the chance to observe, like from the beginning till the end of the process, learn everything. At times, I was telling Gökçe that in the beginning, I wrote a lesson plan once for her, and she looked at it and she was like, sorry, this will not work. Just wait. And I got what she meant when I came and I observed her, and I saw that, yes, sometimes it's all about improvisation. You know, you watch and you're like, okay, now this is this. So I think the teacher needs to be really creative.
Definitely.
To know what to do, how to change the plan every once in a while. How do you plan it? Like, okay, this week I'm going to do this week I'm going to do that. Like, you can give us an overall picture of what lesson planning
For a new beginner, I would say, I mean, there is this team manager training. First of all, they have to get that training because it gives you the overall idea. Apart from that, there is this roadmap booklet of Destination Imagination itself in the website, and it is like 160 pages. Every single question that you might have in your mind, you have the answer there. It's there. So like, did I do it? I did. I didn't. I mean, but I always say, like, do what I say, don't do what I do.
No, it's like you yourself have observed it for years.
Yes. But like, I have really strong people behind me that I can rely on. For example, our head of department, she has been doing it for like almost 15 years now in Turkey. And like, she's been to the US in the global finals. So also another teacher from our school, she has done it before. So she helped me with the ideas. The kids, you know, they come and support it. Our head of department was always there with me. So like, it wasn't like I was, you know, a clueless fish in the pool. It wasn't like that.
Yeşim Seven is one of those people, let's say, one of those educators that I see not only has hands-on experience with different clubs, but also enjoys, you know, she goes there and she enjoys doing things. Let me say, I mean, I dare say that I don't see a lot of supervisors, quote unquote, going all around, you know, when the clubs are being practiced, let's say, by the kids, and watching, giving comments and everything. But you always do that.
Yeah.
How do you think it affects the whole team? Like, the way that you're there with every club, you know what's happening here, what's happening there.
Sandra, if as a supervisor, if you want your team to work, you need to work more. You need to be a good sample for the teachers you're working with. You know, I just can't ask them to do something by themselves, you know, because this is my respect to my colleagues, to my students, to parents, and to administration. Because if you're going to put on a show, it should be excellent on the stage, you know. It's not because I am a psycho, but it's just if you're doing something, you should do your best. It doesn't have to act perfectly well, but you should at least know that you did your best. This was your best. And then you can enjoy the results. And I like it as well. I like being with the kids, with the teachers, and the teachers feel more secure when I am around.
I just had strong people, so I didn't have to read. But if you don't have such people around you, you have to read that roadmap. It's really helpful.
Yeah.
The planning part, I mean, first of all, the team manager should know what these things, these concepts that I actually talked about are. What is a team challenge? What's an instant challenge? And also in their website, they're like, each year they have an instant challenge pack. So you can just print them if you don't want to, you don't have to, but you can print them out and like plan, like every week we're going to do this one, that one. And they have their levels on top of each challenge. Like, we have the elementary level, we have the advanced levels. Sometimes they work for both.
Amazing. Like, one more question I have. I can see that you're looking at your clock. It means that you don't have a lot of time.
No. It's messages keep coming, and 2:30
I know. I'll try to finish it fast.
No.
As a school teacher, it's hard to juggle, you know? Like, you have your classes, you have the planning, you have other stuff. I really wish that this club was my only thing. Then I would do amazing things.
I know.
I love it. I'm a craftsy person myself. Like, I love such stuff. But like, to be honest, it's difficult to plan everything. Of course, we have yearly plans. We have the outline of the year, but still, it's not easy to plan everything detailed, every week. So what we do, let's say we need some fabric to prepare the prop that week, and we couldn't go to get the materials. So what we do, just practice the skit that week, acting. Or like little stuff that we can prepare.
Improvise.
Yep, exactly. We improvise.
As a school teachers,
Yeah.
like this is what we're good at. And probably if you are watching this and you're a school teacher, you're also good at this. So know that you will need to do a lot of improvisation, right?
Yes. But the thing is, for example, each year there is a theme of the team challenge. So this year it had to be a part of a well-known story. Of course, we start by, eliciting, asking questions to the kids, like, which stories do you know? What are the themes of those stories? How can we make use of those stories? Or last year, it was about, there has to be a trickster in the character. So, like, they decided to go with the Greek mythology, Roman and Greek mythology. We had gods and goddesses in our story.
Yeah.
So what we did, we assigned them to search for gods and goddesses, what they do, how they clash, So it's not like, okay, now you're writing something and we're going to practice. No, we just have that background information first. We feed the kids in, and then they start working on the stuff. This is what we did this year as well.
I overreact a lot. I raise my voice sometimes, I admit.
No, it's just all about good cop, bad cop.
Yeah.
Sometimes she prefers to be the bad cop. That's all.
Yeah.
That's how it works.
They need a good cop and a bad cop. And I'm the bad cop, of course. But, at the end of the day, they come and hug me because they feel proud of what they've done as well. I mean, when they see the results, they understand that all the reactions I give is for their goodness. You need to be strict, of course.
This year, for example, they had to have a literary device in the story. It could be anywhere, just a part of the story, throughout the story. So we also, within the club hours, studied literary devices with the kids as well. So Which is nice. We only have it in our 7th grade curriculum, for example, but our 5th grade students studied that as well, so they know it now.
The added bonus.
Yeah. So like it's like everywhere. Like they are supported from every corner, let's say. It's not just speaking English, it's not just learning the concepts, but like, mythology, literature.
Do you have any advice for students, schools, administrators that are about to join the DI?
All the students should benefit from such things. But we need teachers who are motivated. Administration should motivate the teachers. If teachers are motivated, the students will automatically be motivated. It's that the school policies are important here. Because here, yes, sometimes our administration makes teachers angry, blah, blah, all the schools have good points, bad points, but at the end of the day, English departments like a republic in this school. They give us that freedom.
Real event is not in Istanbul,
It's
right?
in Antalya.
It's not,
Yeah.
And then the ones that win it, they go to the US.
If they have the visa. Well, that's another problem we have been struggling with, I would say, because last year our team got the first place in middle school category, and because of the pandemic, the embassy doesn't work, and it's full capacity. So the competition was in May, but our visa appointments were in January next year.
No.
Yeah, but we got our visas.
hurts.
But this year again, the same thing. We
With the
we got
elementary.
the first with the middle group. We got the
Even
first
the
place
middle
again. We can't get the visa appointments. That's the problem. But if you're not in Turkey, you're in luck. Don't worry.
They give me that freedom. to do whatever I want, whatever I want to shape, and they let me do it. And knowing this is my advantage, because you can't do such things in I've been working for how many years, I'm not gonna tell, so many years, but so many years, and it's good to be here in this sense, because they let me do, they let me fulfill all my, plans in my mind, and I am lucky to have a team like this, because somehow the team starts feeling the same things with me. I don't know, I'm lucky, I'm a lucky person maybe. We work together, then the success comes.
What you said, I always, like in many of the other videos, if you have watched, I talk about real life experiences. And I think DI is like the most tangible way of giving the kids that real life experience. Like I at some point, in the beginning, I was like, okay, let's sit and plan for it. Then after 2-3 sessions, you might have seen it. Like I was like, okay, so I sit, watch, okay? Because
I remember, because when I first asked for help, you prepare like long plans. We can do this, we can that. And I was like, no, we can't.
Yeah,
it's not possible to do that. But like, try it if you want. But yeah, we improvise it.
I remember, no, it was not just improvisation with you. It was like, I felt like she has been there. She has seen things. It's just like, the differences between a new teacher who has just finished training and a teacher who has done it for years. Yes, maybe this other teacher will know a lot about the terminology, lesson planning, a lot of other things, but there are things that this other one knows that this one needs to just watch and learn. So for me, believe it or not, it was like that. With this, I think, club, you will need, even if you don't have another teacher to watch, I think there are some footages online, at least for instant challenges, right?
Actually, they don't share team challenges because it's kind of, let's say, they don't want others to be inspired by the techniques and, that technical stuff that they use in their props. And most of the instant challenges are not shared, again, because of the same reasons. Because like their methods and everything, it has to be authentic, their own thoughts and their own methodology, let's say. So they don't want to share it a lot.
So you can
actually,
it,
when they get into the room for the instant challenge, they swear that they're not going to share what happened in the room. Like they're all standing, me as well. We're all swearing that like what happens in this room stays in this room. We never mention, never talk about it. And then...
So just watch this video. You don't have anything to go for.
There are websites and forums. You can ask a lot of questions. You can follow them on Instagram. They share a lot.
At least find a community. Even if now we know that there are not a lot of things on YouTube, for example, available based on what you said, but at least find a community of maybe other teachers, especially with those mock events. I guess you will be able to find a lot of other teachers that are doing the same thing and just, I guess, share and interact with them and try to get ideas. Otherwise, you will totally be lost and those kids will not know what they're supposed to do. Because when I was observing, I was like, okay, the kids, even when she was not around, I could count on the kids knowing what they're supposed to do, which is amazing. It's exactly like when you sub for another teacher, you go to the class and you see that, kids know that they need to have their books around, everything is settled, and you just go and focus on the content. With these kids, I didn't even have to focus on the content. They already knew what they are there to do and to practice, which was, I think, another great part of this event. I really enjoyed it. Sometimes she just fights for it, she's not saying it here, but sometimes she fights and gets it.
Fight in life, If I don't believe in the things that are coming from administration, nobody can make any of these things. Students are always the center, because we're teachers. Our aim is to teach them English, to make them speak English fluently and accurately, plus to help them gain confidence and social skills. That's my only concern.
Are you going to do it again next year?
Yep. I have already checked next year's challenge.
Oh my god! So it is also addictive.
Yeah, it
Now I
is.
know.
It is. Once you're in it, you can't leave it, seriously, because like I am not obsessive actually, and I am overwhelmed by like, let's say, too much pressure, and it's love-hate relationship right now. I have this with DI because I have sleepless nights, like, thinking about how we, finish painting that prop. How are we going to fix that kid not acting very well? Lots of stuff until the national tournament. But still, yeah, they don't announce it in detail right now, but they just give you the framework. I've already checked it, so yes, definitely next year.
This is what I fight for. I fight for my teachers because my teachers are working for the students. So as long as we run this like this, I'll continue fighting. I'm not gonna give up, You know me, I won't give up.
Place goes to the experience. Ladies and gentlemen, we have another winner. Ecuadorian
And can I ask, like, I would really like to, because I just watched the footage and it was amazing. I would love to know the moments that you saw the kids winning. Like, you were running in a beautiful way. I was totally
Jumping, hopping like a bunny. Like,
tell me how you felt.
I mean, proud, mostly, because I don't know. The thing is, these kids are in middle school, and what they accomplish is beyond my imagination. When I was at their age, I couldn't speak a word of English. I didn't have that, skills. I couldn't work in a group because we didn't have such things in my school. I don't know, many things, like they are separated from their parents. They come to Antalya, they stay together on their own without the teachers in their room. A lot of things, and I just felt proud of them. They're just 12, and it's such a big moment. But for myself, that feeling of accomplishment, fulfillment, that like, yes, we did it, it's worth it. So
I know. Thank you very much, Hojam, for being with me. I know how busy you are, like messages come in and phone calls going.
Unfortunately,
It's okay, but thank you very much.
I am very delighted to have you in my team, Sarna. You're a very important part of my team. I'm glad that you're staying with us, and I hope it will be like this for years and years.
Thank you.
So just ignore administration. Focus on in the team.
Let me hold your hand.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for being with us.
All right.
Yeah. I guess it's one of those moments that, schools are ugly. Let's be honest, okay? A school is, we would love to say that everything is just, what do they say, rainbows and sunshines? Yes, we would love to say that, but it's not like that.
even the best school, there are like setbacks, problems.
A lot of problems like pop up. It can be about your colleague and like the way you're interacting with each other, or the way you see a kid cannot do anything and you cannot do anything to improve the kid. It can really be devastating at times, and a lot of other things. But like, there are moments like this that, when I was looking at her, I was like, okay, that sense of achievement that she needs to be able to teach for 100 more years.
That's actually happening. Like, this is where you see the progress. This is where you see your hard work pay off. And it's, again, like beyond happiness, what you feel there. That's why, like, I was happy that I could, with my head of department and other teachers that helped me, of course, like I could make a difference in their lives, and these kids improved in many ways. That was that sense of achievement. And yes, it just boosts your energy and like, yes, I can do it one more year. One more, not 100. So like,
Okay.
one.
So yeah, we said a lot of things about it being hard.
Yeah.
Really challenging with different groups. Like with this group, the group of the kids is also like a very nice group of kids. I mean, yes, we as teachers, we are important, but like there are things that you cannot oversee, like the upbringing of the kid, a lot of other things. So what I want you to know at the same time is that, yes, there will be a time that your teams will not win. The kids will not win. And yeah, there will be a pressure from school, which I really don't like, that why this happened, why that happened, what did the teacher do and stuff. Just don't get overwhelmed and tell yourself that what you actually mentioned, the process, the journey of the kids, they are learning what they're supposed to learn, which is the experience, the real life-like experience that you're providing for them. Winning is just a part of it, which is great. We
I mean,
love
which will
it.
just open the path to the US, you know?
Which is great, but like even if they don't win, just focus on what the kids achieved on their way to the day of the event, and then just reflect on it, because you might actually have it for another year.
Yeah.
I would love to thank you very much. Thank you to be with me. I'm not sure if it is recording. We have a recording situation. Sometimes it just stops all of a sudden. And we had a lot of background noise, but it happens. You know.
Nice.
Yeah, it happens. And I am planning, I mean, with these current playlists that I'm working on, my biggest focus is on not to be perfect. Like, organic all the time.
What is perfect? Even nature is not perfect, so.
We have a lot of things to eat, and she's been teaching since morning, so we're just gonna say goodbye and stay tuned for another episode soon. I have a very nice another teacher coming here. She's going to talk about how weird we look to other teachers. And why we would look different, and why, I mean, the background of foreigners, the way they work in Turkey, and basically like why we might not fit in, okay? So stay tuned. And that's it. See you, bye. Yeah.
Love is the only reason that turns earth into heaven.
Heaven is what was that?
Teacher, I have a question. So when love
You need to run away.
yeah.
You need to run away. You need to just sneak out of here, okay? To save your life.
With the touch of my knife.
Put that knife down. Can you hear how you sound? This can be what you really want. Please, just listen to your heart.
Go away. Things run. Walk now.
Put my evil aside. How am I to decide?
When the music fades away, you'll start talking. You don't go in and start talking, right? There'll be music. Your teacher will give the music right now. Let's try it.
All you need is retrieval. Take a step.
What is happening here? Kaldır onu. Puyma.
All you need is retrieval after I finish?
Yes. Then puyma. Yeah. All you need is retrieval.
You think you are evil. All you need is retrieval. Be careful there, Kairos. Okay. Can you put them on the floor, please?
We don't have the pointer right now.
The other way. Each mile.
Turn to the audience. How am I to decide? Then on your knees.
How am I to decide? Tell me, am I Dr. Jekyll or Mr. Hyde?
Okay, tell me the band, baby. Tell me the band. Put your knees down.
Am I worthy of love without dramatic theme?
Onda da yaptım. Yerlerde sürüntüsü hadi. Okay.
Put my evil aside. How am I to decide?
You need to read your lines again and again. You need to understand because this is a poem. And to give the feeling to the audience, you need to use your tone of voice differently, alright? Because what you